Ancient wisdom has been hiding some mind-blowing secrets about human consciousness, and modern science is finally catching up. What these texts predicted thousands of years ago about our brain's potential is absolutely revolutionary.
That's fascinating because I've been reading about how neuroscientists are actually mapping these ancient meditation practices in real-time brain scans.
Well, here's what's really incredible. These aren't just philosophical theories. The Yoga Sutra, this rare ancient text, describes specific energy pathways in the body that perfectly align with what we're discovering about neural networks.
Hmm. So how exactly do these ancient practices match up with modern scientific findings?
Oh my goodness, let me tell you, when these texts talk about meditating on the Ajna chakra, they're describing this precise point between the eyebrows that corresponds to our prefrontal cortex. Recent studies show this area literally changes structure. With meditation, we're talking increased gray matter density of up to 50% in long-term practitioners.
You know what's really interesting about that? Modern researchers are finding these practices can actually alter our brain chemistry within just 8 weeks.
Exactly. And here's where it gets wild. The Patanjali Yoga Sutras outline these 8 specific stages of consciousness development, and now neuroscience is showing how each stage activates different neural networks. Like the practice of dharana, or focused concentration, has been shown to enhance activity in the anterior cingulate cortex by up to 30%.
Well, that's making me think about the practical applications. How do these ancient techniques actually work in our modern context?
So check this out. These texts describe something called pranayama, specific breathing patterns that activate what they called subtle energy channels. Modern research has found these techniques can increase heart rate variability by up to 40%, which is directly linked to stress resilience and emotional regulation.
That's really helping me understand why these practices have endured for so long.
And here's another mind-blowing connection. The Vibhrahava Sutra talks about this state called turiya, or pure consciousness. Recent studies using fMRI scans show meditation can actually decrease activity in the default mode network, the brain's self-referential thinking pattern, by up to 80%.
You know what's fascinating about that? It's like these ancient yogis had an intuitive understanding of neuroplasticity.
Exactly. And get this, they even predicted what we now call neurogenesis. The texts describe how certain practices could awaken dormant centers of consciousness. Modern science has confirmed that meditation can stimulate the production of new brain cells, particularly in the hippocampus, which is crucial for learning and memory.
That's bringing up an interesting question about how we can bridge this ancient modern gap in practical ways.
Well, here's what's really exciting. Researchers at major universities are now developing protocols that combine these ancient practices with modern biofeedback technology. They're seeing improvements in everything from cognitive function to immune response. One study showed a 43% reduction in inflammatory markers after just 12 weeks of regular practice.
So it's like we're finally developing the tools to validate what these ancient practitioners knew intuitively.
You know what's really mind-bending? These texts weren't just about individual transformation, they predicted societal changes too. They talked about a time when humanity would need these practices more than ever. And look at us now, dealing with digital overwhelm and chronic stress.
That's making me think about how relevant these practices are for our current global situation.
Absolutely right. And here's the kicker: studies are showing that even brief periods of these practices can reduce cortisol levels by up to 25%. It's like these ancient yogis left us an instruction manual for navigating modern life. We just needed science to catch up and validate it.
Well, it seems like we're at this fascinating intersection of ancient wisdom and modern discovery.
And that's exactly why this matters so much right now. These aren't just historical artifacts, they're providing solutions to our most pressing modern challenges. The real question is, how will we use this bridge between ancient wisdom and modern science to shape our collective future?